What you need to do this video is completely ignore the way I look. I've just rolled out my bed and I was like, you know what, I just need to get this off my chest. I need to speak a little bit about this. It happened about 6 days ago, 5 days ago, but I'm late to the party as always. But I'm on that video grind. I'm really trying to grow this year on this whole YouTube thing. So I'm going to make a video about it right now and we're all going to speak about this right now. Dana White slapping his wife. Essentially, that's what we're going to speak about. I've got a few things to say about this situation. Number one, I bet you as soon as it happened, he felt regret and he felt remorse because he's probably, everything going through his head would be, wow, I have judged people about that type of thing for years. Jon Jones, everybody along those lines he has ripped into, and I tell you what, I bet you as soon as Ariel Helwani found out about it, he was like, yes, this is what I need, bring me more fans. You know, Ariel had gotten a lot of fans after the Pimblett controversy and now after the Dana White controversy. So those two, Dana White and Pimblett, sitting on a little podcast together, they've now been both ruined in the space of 6 weeks. So yeah. He put his hands on a woman. The same week a slap fighting championship is meant to start. So, listen. Under no circumstances should he have hit his wife back. But to be fair, I shouldn't say this, but some guys, now this is what is really dangerous about this situation, and if I ever have a daughter, I hope to one day, if I ever have a daughter, I'm going to instill in her the same way I would instill in my son: do not fucking hit anyone, do not slap a female, do not slap a male, right? Now, this is very weird for me to say because I train MMA, I love fighting, I love that type of thing, but I see it more as a chance to go out there and perform a sport I dedicate myself to, rather than street fighting and all that type of stuff. I will say this to my daughter, and I will say this to my son: never hit anybody, because there are some men out there, right? Now, let's say I was one of these types of men and someone slapped me, a woman slapped me, and it had a bit of force behind it, but she was a little woman, like it didn't really hurt. So there's some men that would see red and slap them back. And I remember hearing a story a long time ago. I don't know where I heard it. It was like a podcast I was listening to, and there was this man on there, and he grown up in prison, and there was a man in prison with him, that was put in prison for slapping and beating the shit out of a female, right? Now, this is a very kind of dark story, but he basically, on this podcast, he described this man as someone who was one of the coolest guys to get along with, but as soon as, he was like that friend group. If you've ever had a friend group and there's that one friend that you poke a little bit too hard and they just see red, they start screaming, shouting, he was one of those types of guys. And this woman came up to him and slapped him or something, and he just, the guy described it as the man unloaded on her with just punching her in the body and the fit. I don't know why I'm telling that story, but there are some men out there that are capable of laying hands on a woman beyond remorse. Now, I do not believe Dana White is one of those guys, right? Alcohol was involved. His wife hit him, so he was like, oh, hit her back. Terrible. You never lay your hands on a woman, regardless if she's a little midget woman and you've been married for 30 years and you have that level of comfortability with each other. That's just something you don't do. You don't do that, ever. It's a very bad look for Dana White. What does he do from here? Every press conference he stands at now, he knows the media know about it. He knows everybody's going to speak about it. It's massive in the media. But it's a good time for it to happen, because I know nothing about the NFL. But there was that guy who went into cardiac arrest on the field after being hit in the chest, and that kind of stole the headlines over in the USA. But people definitely have not forgotten about the Dana White situation just yet. Look, all I'm going to say is there's men that see red. Dana White, I do not believe, is one of those men. He's come out and he's apologised for it the best you can. You say, look, alcohol was involved, I did it, you all know I did it. But I bet you as soon as it happened, he was like, I hope no one was filming that. It's the best time for it to happen because of the other headlines, but it's also the worst time for it to happen because of his slap fighting organisation. And they see all these people joking around that, oh, Dana White 10-7'd his wife and stuff, and that is quite amusing. Like, you have like that. If they are mentally okay now and they've got moved past it, they've apologised to their kids and stuff, I'm fine to laugh at the jokes. But I know for a fact, if a woman was to try slap me and try hit me, first thing I'm going to do, grab her wrists. Wrist control that bitch. Wrist controller, tell her to calm down. But if it's someone a bit more like Chris Cyborg or Amanda Nunes and they're trying to hit you, just a jab down the pipe. Just a jab down the pipe, and then say to the judge, I'm so sorry. I thought she was a man, you know. You can probably see why I was confused, and they'd let me off. I shouldn't have said that, but it's funny, so I don't care. Why? You're a 50-year-old man, Dana. Get out of the clubs. I'm an 18-year-old boy who finds clubs degenerative filled. People do degenerates filled. People who have no prospect. I'm going to be a successful guy in the future. I've got my head screwed on. I just know I am. I can see the system. I know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm going to do well. And I'm saying this, and this morning I found out I had 65 pence in my bank account, and I'm telling you I'm going to be successful. You know, I'm not being paid for 12 days. I'm going the next 12 days with 65p in my account. so you know what? Like, that's just how it goes. So you all need to get subscribing. Because I'm part of that 1% that's going to be really successful, and I want to preach a good message, so all of you should start subscribing. You know, get out of the clubs at 50-year-old, Dana. Spend time with your kids, your family. You've got your business. You don't need money. Work on yourself. Work on your relationships. Work on being happy. And if you've done that, get out of the clubs. Because this type of shit happens with alcohol. You slap your wife. You slap someone who's most likely been supporting you through everything. You never hit a woman. You never hit a woman. If it's self-defense, you get your wrist control. You tell her to calm down. You get out of that situation. And if you know people have cameras around you, and you're in a club, you're in a very social environment with people around you that you know, and people that would sell you out for a story to get a bit of money, you don't do that type of stuff. And he must have been drunk, he must have been hit, seen a bit of red, and just went, fuck you, like 10-7 there. He's a big guy, Dana, as well. He's not massive, but a knock to a small woman, she'd feel that, and she'd probably be very afraid. But then also to the Dana White's wife, don't fucking hit anybody. Don't be that entitled bitch that thinks, oh, I slap him, he's a guy, he won't hit me back. Some men will fucking hit you back. Some men will fucking get you in the clinch and start kneeing you in the head. That shit happens. Men are fucking crazy boys, crazy people. They're testosterone filled, and they feel disrespected and unmanly to let a woman hit them and let them away with it. That's ridiculous for me to say out loud on the internet, but it's just the case. It's just what happens. Men are fucking unpredictable. So are women. But as a man, it's your duty to make sure that you do not raise your hand to a woman ever. And if you're ever in a situation where a woman is coming after you, you get your wrist control and you just maybe a little jab down the pipe. Just like that. I'm joking. But that's all I have to say on the matter. I just wanted to let that little bit of news out there. What happens next for the UFC and Dana White? It's a very, very bad look. It's an extremely bad look. Terrible week for the UFC. Jake Paul signs with the PFL, which I made a video about yesterday, but that will have no effect on the UFC. And I'm pissed off at everybody saying the PFL, this is great, 50-50 split. Go and watch that video. I think I correct a lot of people in that video, so you should go and watch that. But Dana White, get your act together. Apologise again. Come out and apologise 50 times so people know you're... Stay out of the social media for a week. Don't go on social media. Come back. If you get asked about it, be brutally honest. The best thing you can do here is be brutally honest. And come out and say, just say you're a disgrace. And then everybody will leave it at that, I'd imagine. So just, you're a very influential guy when it comes to business. Very motivational guy when it comes to telling people to get their shit together. Take a leaf out of your own book. Take your own advice. Subscribe, everybody. If I've missed anything out, I'll comment it down below. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you.